Welcome to Built for This, the podcast where property meets purpose. I'm Talia Hugh.
And I'm Megan Rovers. Together we're here to unpack the real stories behind the people shaping the property industry. From bold first steps to career-defining moments and the life lessons they've built along the way.
If you're passionate about property, curious about the human side of success, or just looking to build something meaningful, you're in the right place.
So let's unpack it. Welcome to Built for This.
Today on Built for This, we're joined by Stefi Kerby, founder of Celia Loves, the Australian-made candle and fragrance brand known for its bold design and feel-good energy.
From corporate lawyer to creative entrepreneur, Stefi's built a business that's as vibrant as her home life, raising 3 daughters in Geelong while bringing her design eye to life through their family's renovation journey.
We talk about turning a passion project into a national brand, finding balance in the chaos, and how home, creativity and identity all tie together when you're building something that's truly your own.
Let's unpack it.
We are so excited to welcome Steph Kerby from Celia Loves to our podcast today. Thank you for joining us.
I'm so excited to be here with you both.
Oh, we're so excited to have you. We'd love to go into all of your story essentially, but start us off a little bit about yourself, family life, how, essentially where you've sort of come to today with Celia Loves and a bit of a background in terms of you as a person.
Well, when I was 10 years old, I always thought that I'd be a lawyer. I just wanted a job where I'd be paid to talk. Like, that is the honest truth. Legally Blonde came out and I was like, yes, I can do that. Elle Woods can do it. I can do it as well. Simultaneously, I didn't realise that scent was a backdrop to a lot of my key moments in my life, and I begged my dad for a party like a candle party, and I invited my nan and my aunties and my neighbours, and I was so obsessed with anything scented. And it's just one of those things that you just don't recognise or realise until there's an unfolding of your life, if you will. So went through law school, graduated, admitted to practice. So my signature is in the Supreme Court, love saying that. And went into it and then realised it was a very interesting space if you ever wanted to have a family at that time. So it was very structured, very rigid. And I realised that I actually wanted to be a present mum when I did have children. So I exited that and had my first child, Hazel. So she will be 11 at the end of this year. And in all of that time and space, I started making candles on the side for friends, went to a new workplace, left that private sector, went to a global company, followed a lawyer across there, and was working that, and I was just learning so much. And then I realised my love was actually business, and I'm obsessed with understanding the mechanics of everything. So still utilising legal skills, but I could talk about business and design and marketing and customer buying habits all day. And ticking away in the background, I also had another baby. And in that time, got recognised by Maya, and I thought it was a scam. And so I ignored these. I truly ignored these emails from Maya. And then one day I was like, I'm going to call Lisa. I'm going to call her out, and I'm going to pretend that I'm like, interested. And because I'd been working at this global company, I had all this knowledge and word salad, if you will. And I called, and my legs went to jelly. And I was like, oh my God, this is Maya. Like, Maya have actually
what a moment. Yeah.
called. Also, I'm making in my garage. Also, I've got 2 kids. I'm a bit tired. Don't really know what's happening. And so I just said yes. And I was like, I can figure this out later. And I always forget that this was a key moment to where we are today, because without saying yes, I learned about barcodes, these systems and how you pack and all of this information. I was like tapping into like my current job that was doing this. I didn't know what I was doing really. And we delivered on Myers, and I probably didn't realise at the time how significant that moment was. So I'm still working a full-time job with my children in the background, working nights. And I took this photo, I'm like in my tracky pants, super tired. And I was like so excited that we had that Myers delivery. And then still, like, our life didn't really change. Like, honestly, I was just happy to be earning some extra money on the side and contributing to the family. So I've got 2 girls. We've entered Myers, and then Beacon Lighting sent me an email. And I was
like, another scam.
What is this? And I thought to myself in this moment, and I remember it was a lunch break. I was like eating, and I was like texting these 2 mums that were working from my garage. And I was like, okay, so I've had 2 majors be interested in our brand. We're obviously doing something. I wonder what it is. And at that time, people weren't really focusing on packaging design, and that's the space that I was really playing into. So that creativity, that marketing, being like, I'm tired and time poor. I want a gift that I can literally grab and go. And so we did that, and that was really fun. We went to into Beacon. That was also the fires, the start of the pandemic, and I handed in my resignation, and I was like, I have to go all in. I've got to sacrifice this paycheck from Beacon, hire a warehouse space and give it a go. And I did. And here we are today.
Such an awesome story, yeah. And I know that's probably just like a very small snapshot of like, that one moment in the trackies and those types of things. But it's obviously so many of those moments that have compounded for you so much. You've just almost just chucked in 2 kids on the side there. And just
plus one more.
Yeah, plus one more. So you've got 3 girls now.
We've got 3 kids now.
So the juggle, the hustle, and I guess some of those bigger moments. But those are obviously the exciting and big moments, the Maya and the Beacon. But like you're everywhere now. Like going kind of regional, like I'm from Shepparton originally. I walked into a store the other day and you're in there. And I'm like, she's from Geelong.
Yes.
I know.
Was that Nixon and Maud?
Yes, yeah. Spent a lot of money in there.
I love Jo. She's amazing.
Yeah. So like, I guess all those little compounding moments, does it feel like a long journey for you, or does it feel like it's all gone really, really quick? And
I think both.
Yeah.
When you look back at it, I love talking about that growth because you actually forget to appreciate where you've come from, where you are now, and because as a business owner, I'm always looking in the future. So I'm already, I was running a few minutes late for this potty because I was like planning new product development that's going to be launching in like Feb, March, and then looking at what does the last part of the financial year look like. So we're always working in the future that you forget where you've been. And sometimes even today I looked around the warehouse and I was like, oh my God, we are bursting at the seams. Like we are too big for this space. And I was telling you as well off mic that I'm really risk adverse, but I'm like, okay, some risk needs to happen now. So we don't sort of like clip our own wings. But yeah, it's sorry if I went off track.
No, that's exactly, and it's very common for business owners, as you alluded to always be like, and sometimes it's hard to get out of survival mode or that hustle mode. It's almost like that's what got me here. I don't want to get not smug. I don't want to like get to the point of like we've made it, we've got it, because like you said, there's still so much more you can do. Like there's still another chapter. There's still so much more you can give and spread, which is really interesting because you kind of like are in sounds like a really good spot now, but it still sounds like you want more, which is awesome.
Totally.
Yeah.
I also don't love the word hustle. I like the word drive because drive comes with sacrifice and conscious decision making. So when you're like talking about the grind and everything, I'm like, yeah, it sounds cool on paper, but you've actually got the courage to try. You've actually got the courage to fail and not succeed and continue to show up and figure it out. And that's the part that excites me. I'm like, yeah, we won't get it right all the time. Yeah, we make mistakes, but the drive and that determination, discipline, motivation won't always be there, but you have to have the discipline to keep showing up and have that drive and just keep going forward.
For sure. And with that as well, I feel like, every, I'm sure, pivotal moment that you've had to take risks to get there. So you sort of look back and you're like, okay, if we want to grow, we have to take on those risks and keep doing that.
It's being smart and understanding your numbers. One other thing that I want to add is being female. We're not necessarily supported by the world at large when it comes to financial literacy as well. So upskilling in those areas so you can make really great decisions. So yes, I'm risk adverse. However, I still got the courage to try, and I know I can fall back on my understanding of how to get myself out of any of what those, buffers and risks might be.
And what does your team look like today in terms of, I'm sure 11 years ago is when you started from the garage as a hobby?
Yeah, so it's probably about 9 years ago.
Yes, beautiful.
About 9 years ago. Didn't take it seriously until 2019.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
when we became a company, and I Googled, how do I trade candles?
That is
Not
the
joking.
best. Well, because how has the marketing, I guess, gone from that back in the day, or at the start, was it just posting on Instagram, things like that? Is that how you were sort of seen, do you think, or word of mouth? Friends?
Yeah, so I literally Googled, how do I sell candles? And wholesaling came up, and I was like, what is this? Because I don't have that understanding, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, you need an agent. I was like, great, I'm going to find an agent. And then, I remember my first 30 stores. So Jo being one of them from Nixon and Maud, who still stock our brand today, and we've got beautiful relationships. I literally took on an agency and was like, this is what I'm doing. I've been, contacted by Maya, contacted by Beacon. We're doing something cool. They saw that opportunity with our brand, and so we went to trade fairs. So trade fairs and Instagram, quite organic growth, dabbling in paid ads. That is great and collaborative. We actually turned off our paid ads a year and a half ago and are more profitable. Yep, because we understand our market. We know where they show up. Yes. So yes, a lot of Instagram and trade fairs in the beginning. Yep, to get our brand out there, and we still continue trade fairs for new customer acquisition and to show up in those spaces, but also to connect and maintain relationships with our current portfolio.
I'm interested to hear what your definition of risk adverse is, because starting a business is one thing, and then obviously there's challenges that come. I think there's a stat about most businesses kind of close after 12 months because it does get hard. What does risk adverse mean to you? Like, when you say you are risk adverse, because you do have a lot of drive from the conversations that we've had so far, what is that? How do you think you're risk adverse?
Taking on unnecessary debt. I have bootstrapped Celia Loves from day one. So I started with those low units, cried when I had to pour my first 17 candles for a store in, it was off the back of Sorrento, I can't remember the place. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I've got to do this, and like that inventory, right? So taking on debt when there's like really wobbly stats around it, I'm not doing that. I'll find another way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. And my goal has always been cash flow positive. Which means you do have to make some really tough decisions, like turning off paid ads for us meant we had a lot more cash back into the brand, so we could grow our stock, we could grow our new product development, and also find other ways to operate, right? So I was willing to try it, saw that I was like, I'm not comfortable with this anymore, and pulling the pin really, really quickly. So risk for me is taking on unnecessary debt. And growing, I think growing fast isn't always best. That can make you unstable. Growing slowly is actually okay. And so in that hustle mentality as well, it's like, well, what does success actually mean to me as a person? And I was always like, this is the lifestyle I want to have. And so as long as all of my decisions support that, then that's great.
Some of these words that you're saying at the moment really resonate. So we've got service-based businesses, but I'm dabbling in a product-based business. It is a bloody different world. Like what even like happens? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, there's just so many moments that we've kind of faced already that I'm like, what? And the business partner I've got, she's works in service-based businesses as well. Like, it is completely different. Yeah. And you kind of get to the point of like, you feel like you should know. Like, we've Googled pretty much the same stuff. Like, how do you do this? But yeah, it's a challenging thing, and it's more often than not. And we've been getting this product ready for probably nearly 3 years. But you do get these moments where you do feel like it's just too hard.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
just forget about it. Like, let's just go back to a 9 to 5. Like, it's just too hard. I must be missing something. But it's kind of like, no, you've just got to ask more questions.
Understanding just the basics. Like, sometimes the basic conversations are the best conversations to have. Where's your customer shopping? Where are they showing up? Where are they looking on the shelf space? How are you being presented in store? You can have a really shitty product and market it very well. You see that all the time. Temu is a very classic example of that. And you can have a beautiful product that's not marked at the right price point, and it's never going to move in store. So it's understanding your piece, or like your product in that cycle of customer, wholesale, and where everyone's showing up. Yeah, it's really important. It takes a lot of time to develop.
Is it just me becoming a little bit more conscious to this now in this conversation? But are more brands aligning with the scent now? Like, I know Country Road, you walk in there, they smell.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to sound so weird. I could smell the Country Road store and lawn before I could see it. I was like, there must be a Country Road around here somewhere. Obviously, Peter Alexander always did. Are you seeing that in your space now? That
fragrances everywhere.
Yeah.
We created a viral room spray, and I'm noticing that a lot of our bigger competitors now have those room sprays reinvented, like taking our inspiration of like using a perfume style bottle in really cool packaging. Also, scent evokes memories, right? So when you do, what about our room in the store? You know exactly what that smells like. Exactly, Peter Alexander. I remember where I was, I had this lemongrass candle that I was burning when I was breastfeeding Hazel, right? Like that takes me back to that lounge room. I remember the couch. I remember how it feels. Scent is so beautiful, and it's also a great way to get people in stores shopping, right? Because they want to have that sensory experience. Yeah.
And then you bring it home and you're like, it still smells good.
Well, we even have that as well, like, because I'm a sales agent, real estate agent, so we're trying to create a, a scent essentially so that when people come to the open homes, they know it's an Oslo property open home. So it really, it draws everyone in.
It also can make a space feel comfortable.
Yes.
It can make it feel clean and fresh. If you think about all of your typical cleaning products, it's all citrus and eucalyptus and, all those clean feels. And then when you want your space to feel warm and welcoming, it's like the woody, like fragrances and the softer tones and notes. Yeah, you can set the mood. An intention in your space. That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip this whilst we're on this kind of space and those types of things. It sounds like you've got a real eye for detail and a little bit of a loaded question, because I know that you are looking at doing something to your house at the moment, and it sounds like maybe this eye of detail has and I guess you're looking at marketing and we align with that. Like if we market properties well, then they sell better. You market a product really well, it sells better. What's your property journey been like alongside the three girls, alongside the business? What is property an asset class to you? Is it a home? Like what does it mean to you, and what does that journey look like for you?
Yes. Okay, great. What does it mean to me? Okay, can I start with my first house?
Yes, because I also ask three questions in one question all the time.
I was like, where do you want me to start with this one?
Start there.
Because my second love to marketing is probably property. Yeah. And asset acquisition. Yeah. It's very fun. So when I was studying, I told my dad I'd met this beautiful guy and I was staying in Geelong, and he was like, oh my God, that's the dumbest thing you've ever said to me. And my dad actually said, if you're going to stay in Geelong, you need to buy a house and set yourself up. And I remember like looking at property. I actually have to confess, this is wild when you think about it. I'd never worked full time. And I decided I'd buy a house.
I love that.
You're like, perfect, why not? Why can't I? Someone tell me you can't. We actually had
I was about to say
last week, and it's like being that naive is almost like gives you that
blessing.
And now it's kind of like, what? Like if one of your girls was to come to you like say, Mum, I'm going to buy a house, you're like, what?
I would probably be like, yes you are.
Off you go, sign the contract,
and you're going to start working now. Which one of them already is, so that's a story for another day. So I was studying and like looking for a property, and I remember my now father-in-law saying to me, just buy a house, get your foot in the door, and your house is never going to be a $500,000 house. And that is a punchline in the family, because we bought in Belmont at the right time. We bought for something crazy like $305,000. We put some money into it. It's beautiful, and we've got a beautiful long-term tenant in there. We also have a unit as well. So we actually had some bad tenants in there that destroyed the space. And at that particular time, we had been saving for our next property, right? So we used some of that money that we had saved up to revamp the internals and kind of market it at that high price point when it comes to leasing. And that was great. And we loved that little cozy, I would never live there. It's a bit too small now with the family, but it was really sweet for like your first home outside of like that family life, young kids. Also, buying property younger, you have less risk in your life. Like we have 3 dependents. We have to be like mindful and make sure that we can actually fund our lifestyle and anything that we do. And this is actually so bad, but sometimes I just do gut feels. I'm like, I just have a feeling, we need to buy next
No, I get that, seriously.
But that's also because that subconscious information that you're absorbing all the time, because we're always looking at realestate.com, we're always looking at those renovations, we're doing walkthroughs on the weekend for fun. Like that's not even a joke. That's what I'm doing this weekend. We're always like interested in that space, understanding how design, what are they selling it for? What are we looking for? And sometimes it's just knowing information so you can make really well-informed decisions. And I literally woke up one day and I was like, I literally need to buy an East Geelong. Like I just had a feeling had our finger on the pulse, and then COVID happened. So that was when people were offloading their assets. And so I think I told you off mic, I literally cried, wet tears, ugly crying going, I'm going to financial ruin. We were looking after my dad at the time who was going through cancer treatment. He needed a space. We had like the 2 kids. I was self-employed. Like, what was I thinking? Signed the paper anyway. And there we still are. And now we're doing our renovation. So it's like looking at those next steps. I am a commitment phobe. So if you say, is this your forever home? Don't say it. So don't say that to me because I don't know what the future looks like.
Yes.
It could be. It could not be. I don't know. There's so many decisions I have to make along the way. But we're very excited for this next phase. It'll be the first time I've lived in a beautiful, fully renovated home because we kind of renovate and then move on.
Yeah, let someone else enjoy it. Do all the hard work, all the blood, sweat and tears.
Yeah.
And how involved are you in the process with the renovations? Like, I guess it's a loaded question because I know that your husband's a builder.
Yes.
How involved are you in the process?
Very involved. Yeah, I like interiors. Like, I love design, and I think it's a collaborative approach. So it's that balance of livability and design aesthetic as well. So he's quite good at getting everyone on board, understanding the processes, and I think I'm really good at understanding how women shop homes and what they're looking for, and making sure it looks chic and but still functional as well. Like, no offense to the men out there, I have to edit that out. But like, they're not thinking about when you go grocery shopping, what does your journey look like through the house? When you have a dirty towel, literally what is that journey through the house? Like, just those little details to make those pieces functional within your home. Like, a cute little hook in a bathroom might look fine for a magazine cover, but can you live in that space as well? So that balance as well. And I also don't like making TV the centre of lounge room spaces. So it's that balance of like a den for the TV room, and so yes, very involved.
That's awesome. And I guess the journey for you've kind of had that you're building a portfolio by the sounds of it at the moment. And I know some people cringe when we kind of try to dive into the portfolio and those types of things and use words. I won't use some of the words that people use around building the portfolios and those types of things. But is that the plan, just to kind of keep acquiring and doing, having these long-term tenants? Because we quite often see that with property, people see the gain in a property, get really excited and want to see that money in their bank account, so they'll sell it. So they'll get their $200,000, $300,000 equity. They'll go, oh, awesome, we've made that money. We better take it out before something happens. But it kind of sounds like you're like, well, yeah, like, let's leave it. Like, let's leave this thing. Like, it's going to keep going up. Potentially it might go down at one stage, but it might then keep going up. Property? Is that the plan to continue?
Yeah. Long term. So we do shallow thinking, long term gain. Like, that's literally how we live our life. I don't know how that equals or equates to like anything logical. So for us, like, even like off mic, we were chatting about our tenants, like, so through COVID and all of the price hikes and everything, our goal was to maintain our tenants. We knew we'd be in a worse off position, obviously, if they couldn't afford the rent anymore. So we maintained everything and do really small increments because we prioritise long term. Property does go up and down. That's just part of the game. Like, you got highs, lows, who cares?
It's so unknown. Yeah.
It's so unknown. And I guess that's when it comes to like good decision making, buying a good area, building up slowly. For us, eventually the goal, I would assume in this present time, would that be that those houses would be paid off and that would be some retirement money coming in. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it absolutely does. Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess for us, like, doesn't mean that we're like closed off to the idea of selling off a piece to acquire something better. But eventually we probably will have to make some more strategic moves. I really wanted to buy one more house before we did this property because I knew all your debt coming into your primary residence is not the best thing, right? So I was like, let's just buy one more while we're saving up for this reno. But no, we're prioritising the family and living in a really beautiful space so they can bring their friends over.
Yeah. And I think it does get to a point, and probably drawing a little bit of parallel with, like, I was buying, living, getting the gain, selling, and to try and get to where the property, so I was living in properties that I didn't necessarily want to try and then kind of get to where I wanted to be. And now it's a point of, I won't say the same thing, I'm not in my forever home because everyone that knows me knows that there'll be boxes around, there'll be a for sale board at some stage. But it is about kind of thinking about, well, at some stage you do have to kind of slow down and go, right, you've got 3 girls now, you want them to have home to a certain degree by the sounds of it, you want them to bring their friends over. So how can you create that space knowing that maybe it's not the best financial decision, but it sounds like in the background a lot of what you're doing, and the reason you've already realised is that it's your lifestyle. Like
Right.
you can't just work and have all, have money.
Agree.
If you can't have the lifestyle you want to live, then kind of what's the point?
Totally. And it also comes down to what you value and what your family goals are, what your personal goals are as well, because some people don't believe in holding land. And I remember a real estate agent actually saying to us, we're like, oh, we were thinking about selling a Belmont home. And he was like, oh, I really want to sell that for you, but you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right. So through all the interest rate hikes, all the things that increase, we just knuckle down budget and make sure like maintaining land is really important. I do not care about the unit. I have no emotional attachment to that unit at all. But for our Belmont home, it's beautiful. It's in a great location. It's zoned. It would not make sense for us to sell that ever. But if an opportunity arises or we want to clear off a debt, right, we might sell the other 2 houses and have a different lifestyle again. So it's just, we're very fortunate. We started young. We also, through blood, sweat and tears, working multiple jobs, and going back to what I was saying to you before about being risk adverse and taking on unnecessary debt, we obviously got married in that time, right? So I was working my office job and then bustling tables in the evening. So I'd finish at 5, start work at my second job at 5:30 and work till like 11 p.m. at night time because I did not want a wedding debt. I was like, if I can't pay for it in cash, I don't want to do it.
It's not happening.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. So I guess that mentality is always there in the background for us. And just, making sure we're comfortable and we can do the things we want to achieve as a family and as individuals.
Taking back, and I'm just going to use a decade as the kind of like the
God,
time
I can't
frame.
even remember what I did this morning, but yeah, I'll try.
And we've had a few of these stories where it's like start young, give it a go. And a lot of the media at the moment is about, I guess, and the running joke is like stop eating avocado on toast and you might be able to afford a house and those types of things, which is kind of like, you just have to work harder. You've got to make some sacrifices and maybe those are the things that you subconsciously did.
I think it's also rude to dictate what people want to do with their life. It comes down to your values.
Everyone values different things.
Right? And that's actually okay. Oh my God, you guys have me started now. I also have an issue with age. Like you can actually start at any point. You can upskill in financial literacy at any point. You can start investing in shares if you wanted to and just equip yourself with people who have done it before and go and speak to financial advisors because this is not financial advice. But, like you can start something at any point. You just have to understand what that looks like and what your pathway is. So having an end goal and going, okay, that is my end goal of achieving avocado on toast every Sunday morning. That's part of my lifestyle. That's actually okay.
Enjoy it.
But unfortunately, you're going to have to work a few extra hours to afford that so it doesn't impact all your other decision making, I guess, or ability to fulfill your goals. Yeah, so I think it's rude when people, I eat avocado on toast on a Sunday.
I just want to probably dive into maybe mum life a little bit because you sound very busy with everything. You're very, very busy. Having 3 girls would be busy in itself on top of a business, on top of obviously renovating, having properties and those types of things. How do you do the work-life balance? How do you do the juggle of being a mum on top of all of this?
Really honest conversations. I don't like the BS around it. Like there is a balance. I personally think you can have balance. It just comes in different stages. And the best example I can give you both is, I should tell you what my girls do. We're a ballet household, a jazz household. They do private tennis lessons, they do swimming, they do piano, and I also put them into tutoring, right? They don't need it, but that's just part of one of my core values is education, especially for young girls. So they do tutoring in English and maths, just essential life skills on top of their workload. So that's what
You're so busy.
have.
I'm tired thinking about it.
I love that.
But it's very scheduled. Like we pack the night before, we understand. I set up my calendar for the week. We put in the reminders. We miss things as well. Like that's part of it. So my trough in my business is probably the first 6 months of the year, but we've actually gotten really busy. So it's not. But my non-negotiable in that time is school drop-off and pick-up. So for the first 6 months of the year, if I'm really busy, I have to work on a weekend. I have to work when the kids go to sleep, all of that. I do the pick-up. I do the drop-off. I'm there for the ballet. I'm there for the concerts. I have time for my children. They come first. That is essential. Back end of the year, I'm not doing the morning drop-offs and I'm not doing all of the pickups and I'm sharing and delegating that load. It's also when I outsource my laundry. It's also where I outsource jobs to my father-in-law, like mowing the lawns, and also having a cleaner as well. So we delegate outsource, and it just flips. And understanding what that looks like and where family time can then come back into the fold, which is a Sunday walk. We literally go walk the dog on a Sunday. Rain, hails, well, not hail, but like
thunderstorms, whatever, girls, get out.
Yeah. It's just really, that's really important to me. It's like, it's a non-negotiable. Taking my children to school and doing car karaoke is so fun. We all get a song each and we sing, like terrible, offbeat, like just, it is fun. We also have these cards for when I'm a bit tired. I'm like, I don't actually know how to start a conversation with my children after school. So we've got this box of joy cards and they get to pick one each, right? And so one of the things was start a laughing train. So we're all like doing this really awkward, like, ha, ha, ha. and then everyone starts laughing.
That's so cute.
And then it's like, what does it mean to be a kid? And, you know, these really great questions to connect back with your children. So yes, you're driving 15 minutes with your children, but that's actually a really beautiful connection time. And so for me, it's like, what does that look like in my busy period? I was working, and I'm not proud to say that I was working late, but I've got a goal to achieve this week and I will not fall behind. And I was working till 11:30 last night, and then I was back in the warehouse at 7:30. We've got some really big deliverables, and so sacrifice is also part of it.
And I guess on that, and I saw something the other day that if you want to talk to your kids, don't expect to sit in your house and talk to them, go for a walk. So it sounds like you kind of are doing that. Like if you want your kids to talk to you, go for a walk. And I was like...
Play games.
I said to Mark,
and it's all the normal things, like you said, driving to school, like they're the best time. They're the little things that...
I think in parenthood, I don't know if other people feel the same. I sometimes feel like there's this pressure to do these really big, grand gestures. Your children just want you.
Yeah.
So as long as you're giving them phones down, airplane mode, or explain to them, I'm sorry, mummy's got supplies online. I'm going to do this for the next 15 minutes and then I'm going to put my phone.
Communicating to.
Make them feel seen and heard and valued and be part of the family solution as well, and let them have buy-in and understand. They also love working in the warehouse. Hazel, she has that, I hate this word, but like that entrepreneurial spirit. That girl's got it. Like it's really fun to watch and harness that, whereas Grace just wants to be famous. So.
Feels Grace.
She just wants the easy way in life, and I love that because she's our comic relief. She makes life fun because she's so unserious. And then Daisy, she's just the boss of everyone. So.
Daisy's the youngest.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and it's beautiful watching them. One of my favorite moments in my parent journey is every morning my girls wake up and snuggle on the couch and they just like watch TV or they're like chilling together and they just snuggle, and I love it. And the other day I was driving home from Pilates, they were having breakfast in their gym jams, they were all happy, and I was like, oh my God, I'm actually living my life. It was a really nice moment. And it was my kids eating a really beautiful breakfast on a Sunday, and it included avocado.
I love that.
But do you know what I mean? Like that was
they're like
really,
the I've made it moments that Megan was referring to before. It's not about work. It's those little moments that just,
And also I made it moments, hearing you say you've got, like you can see our brand everywhere. Like that. My ego gets very big.
And I'm not just saying that because I've known you for a little while, and I've always like been like, oh, there it is again. And I'll like, you said it before and I was like, that's me. You know your shopper well, because I don't have time to buy presents for people. So when I do, it is whatever looks good, and that is exactly what I did at Nixon and Maud. I was seeing some for breakfast. I quickly dropped in there because I needed to buy them a present, grabbed some of your stuff off the shelf and said, can you wrap that actually, please? And then went to breakfast because I'm like, it's ready to go. Like there's nothing. And I'm like, she's going to like it. So like, I look good. I put no thought into this, and there it is.
I
it's
mean,
ready
you've curated a scent profile for your friends. That's fine. But it's those really, but actually you did put thought into it. Can we just let the record show? Because you know the reputation of the brand. You knew it was going to be good. You knew it was going to be like a non-offensive present. Like that's where we show up in that space. So you know what's up. I like that.
And I guess because I think one of them was the room scent, and I thought, how did you make that so it's not like your house smells? Here's the scent. Because we sometimes have to spritz some houses that have a little smell, and we're just kind of like, hey, we just left like a diffuser in the wall, but like now I'm thinking maybe we can just give them room scents at the start. Those types of things. But you've obviously then been able to market something that essentially could come across as like a pretty abrupt gift of like.
Also, people want to buy themselves really beautiful things that are affordable and like guilt-free, right? So that's where price point comes in, packaging comes in. So a lot of people buy it for themselves, know it's good, talk about it to their friends. So they've already had that preamble, and then they have it and get addicted, and then they tell their friends.
Are you only in Australia at the moment?
We're international as well.
International?
So we've got a pretty strong foothold in New Zealand. We're doing really well. Hope that doesn't come off as bragging, but we're doing really well in that area. Then we're still in conversations with USA. It's flammable goods, all those sort of dangerous good conversations. So that's been really fun. We also have a really beautiful store in Dubai as well.
Oh, wow.
And then we ship B2C, so business to customers. Pretty much
New term, I learned that the other day. Yep.
Yep. B2B, B2C.
Yep. Got it.
I've never heard that, so that's great.
Yeah. So we're doing well in that space. We also take constant feedback from our customers. So everything that we do is not always what I want to do, but it's what our customers love, and we just keep trying to show up and be better for them as well. I love our customers. I love our wholesalers. I take a really like remembering Joe from Nixon and Maud. I take such great pride in like building meaningful relationships with our wholesalers as well.
And it really shines through as well. Like you can tell your passion with it. Like you genuinely care about your customers, but also those that are wholesaling them too.
I have a lot of respect for our wholesalers. It's a very hard slog. Retail is exceptionally hard. So if they're surviving, I want to support them back. Like their hard-earned money is getting spent with us. I have such deep respect for that transaction. Yeah.
That is amazing. And what does I'm sure this is different every day, so sorry if it's a really wide question, but what does your typical day in the life look like in terms of work? Like what is your role? What does your team look like? How does that all sort of operate behind the scenes?
So we're in peak trade at the moment. So my peak trade period versus off-peak looks completely different. My day can start quite early. So because we are in New Zealand and have conversations with the USA, I can sometimes start emails from 5 a.m., mainly 6 a.m. I try and get those done first. Then the kids wake up. They're either in before school care, childcare, nannies looking after them. So it depends what particular day it is. I'm generally in the warehouse in peak season anywhere from 8 to 8:30, depending if the kids get their shoes on or not. And so my role is product development, marketing, sales. Some of those are offloaded. Like I don't do our social media. Our social media girl does a really incredible job of pretending to be me. So lots of people think they're speaking to me directly. That's literally her goal, is to keep that personal connection going. And then we have our dispatch team, and then we've got our production team. So we've got liquids, and then we've got the candles.
How have you gone from doing it all to delegating to building a team to still keeping it the business that you built? Because I think it's one of the hardest things that I've had to learn in business is sometimes it is better if you work on it, not in it all the time. And it sounds like with product development, if you're looking forward, you can't be necessarily worried about the urgent thing that's happening
day to day
in that day if you're trying to look at what's happening already next year. How are you going with that, or how has that gone for you?
I can switch gears pretty quickly. So I can go long term, short term. I make my team so this is probably very exposing, but I'll be honest with you. When I've got my headphones on, the team do not interrupt me for anything. Nothing, unless there's a workplace injury, God forbid. But unless it's like significant, do not interrupt me. That is my time to work on the business, not in the business. 1 hour a week is probably what I spend working on the business, if I'm honest. And I think sometimes that can be enough. Sometimes it's one day. What does the future look like? If that thought is in my brain, I need to get it off. And either it needs to be actioned, something tangible, or I just need to roadmap, put it in a spreadsheet,
come back
it
to
later.
Yep.
Yeah, right. So anything urgent, I have micro meetings. I don't see the value in lots of big meetings. We need to delegate, have really strong processes. So if there's a VIP customer, everyone knows how to action that. They can generally get the job done without me. They don't need me for a lot in those spaces. I do, however, still sometimes work in the business because I've got goals. So I was up doing filling last night because I had a goal to achieve, a VIP. I knew the team were stretched and we gained we're short on hours in the day. We're not Beyonce. So I was I need to show up in this space and be part of the team. And I make that decision because I can see the long-term benefit. So short-term pain, long-term gain. Yep. And it doesn't mean we have to do it every single week. This is just a critical week for us. And that's just what is required at this scale. Yeah.
Do you have a long-term I guess, vision for the business, for life, what that looks like? Like as your girls are growing up, I think like I read somewhere that you've kind of got 18 summers with them and then they want to be with their friends. Like, so how do you, I guess, long-term plan for that, knowing that they're an integral part of your day now, but, you know, in 10 years' time, what does that look like? Where do you want Celia Loves to be in 10 years' time?
I don't know. I want to be so honest and so transparent. I actually don't know, because there are so many other decisions that have to be made before I get to that long-term goal. What would I do outside of that space? Consulting and marketing, that's probably the next dream. Gucci, please hire me. I'd love to be part of it. I honestly don't know. I see fragrance in that beauty space being in the long-term lens. Candles have been around for how long? Honestly, for a very long time. So it's like until it feels too hard, I think I'll keep going. Yeah. And also, actually, I forgot to tell you, I've been studying the last 2 years.
Chuck that in. Why not?
And I'm now a qualified gemologist.
Oh, I think I read this.
Yeah.
I think somebody put this through to us.
Yeah.
So what's the plan? Yeah.
Gemologist, so like
gems, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, gemologist.
rubies,
Oh.
emeralds, all the pretty stuff.
Oh my gosh, I love
So does that
so
mean you like
much.
kind of need to buy one of each, so then you can
Oh,
study
I've got
them further?
I'm going on a buying trip next year. But yes, so that's also something. I still treat Celia Loves like my side hustle. Do you know, like, I think life comes first and work is second. So I still treat it like my side hustle. I'm responsible for like a team of 11. I don't know how many, like over 1,000 wholesalers, like just right. But it's not my full identity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I answer your question? Probably not.
Yeah, no, you did,
know.
because like
I genuinely don't know, because what happens if somebody wants to buy it out and gives me a ridiculous amount of money and I can, I don't know, buy that next house?
Yeah.
I'd probably say yes.
And things just change so much. And I feel like that's becoming more and more common, that the end goals are actually, we don't actually know what's going to happen and things. So I think having that openness is really...
That makes me feel excited, because I'm like, what could happen?
Yes.
That makes me feel so, like, I'm getting like goosebumps thinking about it. In all honesty though, like, what could happen? You don't know who you're going to meet. You
Maybe
don't know.
Hazel will take over. Who knows?
Probably. She actually would. She's like, she tells the team what to do. She delegates jobs out to them. But she hears me workshopping what the schedule for the week should look like for the company. I roughly map it out, so then I know if we're on track, off track, and we've got our monthly goals. This is going to sound so dorky, but you know, people talk about like their quarterly rocks, whatever. I'm like, we call them sprints. What can we do for the next 30 days that's going to push us closer to our 90-day goal? And if we're not doing something that's actioning those moments and moving the needle,
Pivot.
Don't worry about it. It's actually not important. Keep going. And that's a great way that I make decisions as well, I think. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the future looks like.
Love that so much.
I'm interested because you've used some words there, rocks and sprints and those types of things. Are there any, I guess, mentors, books, courses, guides, things that you've done that you think I've taken a bit of that and I've really ran with it and that's really worked for me? Because I feel like I read different books and I can take a little bit from everything, but there's never been like one manual I use. And some people do look for, I guess, maybe, I think it's called the silver bullet, like the thing that's just like, that they did that, so I just, you know, it must work for me. That's what I do. Are there any kind of go-tos that you've lent on for business or life?
Conversations.
People.
Talking to people who've done it are probably a bit further ahead in the journey, and ask them. One thing I noticed really early on is that the same problems arise just at scale. So if you've got a problematic team member, that happens everywhere. If you've got inventory like misordering, that happens everywhere. Your consequences just change as you scale, right? Understanding, you know, asking people failures, triumphs, however you want to coin it, whatever the words are you want to use. Tell me about how you're running a business. I joined like a business group early on, but it was more geared towards men, not women. There's a real gap, and I honestly take offense to like mumpreneur, what do they call them? Or I'm in business, so I want the same term as the boys. I'm in business. I don't like entrepreneur. I think that sounds like a wanky term. But I find it really interesting. So I do read books. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and not necessarily about business, but I was listening to The Imperfects last night.
Oh, yes.
When I was in production, hitting those goals, and they were talking about core values. I'm like, great, this is fantastic, because we are people. So as long as you understand your core value, you can probably run your business as well. I think structure, finances, like they're pretty standardized, right? don't spend more than you're making. That makes sense when you come to like the silver bullet and that structural piece. But there is so many, like the world is so different and it keeps changing and evolving. And so you just have to find your place and what that looks like. Also understanding what success looks like to you, because you can really fall victim to that hustle mentality. Keep going, hit this goal, hit that goal, and then you'll never be satisfied, right? So what does success look like to you? I can pay my groceries comfortably. That I feel successful. Yeah, my kids are in extra.
Kids are happy.
Yeah. Not all the time. Not
True.
when I ask
Healthy.
Them, not when I ask them to brush their teeth and get into bed. They are not happy children. But just little things like I can put them into these extra activities for schooling. We can go for a weekend away. We can go on holidays. So, yeah, that's how I feel successful, and I don't need any more than that. So I'm not driven by greed. I love numbers. So I love seeing things grow. That's where I get the most excitement. I'm like, and when even hearing like the unknown, I'm like, whoa, what is out there? That makes me feel excited. So that drive will keep us going. But no, I don't really, I just listen to as much as I can, talk to as many people, share knowledge. Like, this is what I've done. That didn't seem like it was working. Would you do in this scenario? And listen to them. But it's like an ammunition pack, right? And that Band-Aid might work for a little while, but you might need a bigger solution. You might need to go see a surgeon. So it's just take on as much information and just, whatever is applicable to you. Yeah, that's your job, I think, is to discern what is.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the reasons why we really wanted to get you on the pod was because we're doing this as well, like I guess from a little bit of a selfish point of view, because the more people that we can talk to, the more stories that we hear that hopefully we can give, but we can learn and learn from people. And I think you said it at the start, like you didn't want to come across, I actually forget the word you used, it was a great word.
I can't remember it.
Yeah, it was almost like it's hard to sometimes braggy.
I don't ever want to be braggy, but I am proud.
Yes.
Like I have
as
worked
you should
hard.
be.
Yeah.
But I've taught to like the business is probably bigger than what people realize, and I'm kind of into it. I like to be the underdog. I like to be underestimated. That there's so much power in that space. I also don't have anything to prove to anyone. So except for myself, like, can I do it? Can I not do it? If someone says no, I'm like, I'm interested in that.
Let's make that a yes.
Break that down.
I'm like, do I want to know if I can do that, or am I telling myself no too? And I think that's just who I am as a person as well. But I never want to be braggy, but I am proud. We also work hard. I'm very tired. And there are some times where there are hard pills to swallow where you don't have flexibility and freedom, and that can be quite when you just want a day off, do like a self-care. That actually can't really happen for the next couple of months, but it can happen in the future, and we can work it in to the team.
I was going to say, then I get the day off and I'm like, I'm bored. Boring. Let's do something.
An adrenaline junkie.
Okay,
I am
cool.
the same.
Yeah.
Like, is that pressure of like getting things done?
It's like, 3-day holidays.
Productivity. Love it.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up with some rapid fire questions. So we're going to fire away 3 questions at you. We aim for 1-word answers if we can, but usually 1-word answers, but usually we ask questions that don't even allow you to do that. So we stitch you up. Tals, do you have one? Let's fire away.
I do, yes. What is one thing, if anything, that you do on a day-to-day basis that you just can't go without?
My calendar.
Perfect. And go-to holiday destination?
Overseas. We did Japan. But New Zealand, like, is a really quick little stopover, but I try not to visit the same country too many times. So, Italy.
Love. And I'm going to bring this one back. I used to ask it early days, but death row meal. Go-to death row meal.
I'm actually a glutton. I love food. That's actually exceptionally hard. It had to be something with fried chicken and seafood.
I'm going to ask one more.
Please, let's get this.
We can't stop, seriously.
And this might be like picking your favourite child, but what's your favourite fragrance?
That's actually fantastic because I go through phases. At the moment, it's the heiress. So anything that's got like amberette, like is a bit more powdery. I don't like super clean, super sweet, and I lean into more of those masculine fragrances. Yeah, as opposed to sweet. Yeah.
Love that.
So much.
Thank you so much for joining us
It's
today.
been
That was
such
awesome.
a pleasure. It does. I could just sit here forever, honestly. Just keep asking.
Yeah, I was like, I actually have more to say.
Well, far away.
But I really appreciate the time and effort. So thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much, Sam.